in this whole project, one of the things I've learned is that life is not black and white, it's colorful. There wasn't such a thing as a Knitting Pilgrim until just a few years ago. It started with my getting this grant to do Stitch Glass. Now, Stitch Glass was this series of 3 huge tapestries, and each tapestry was looking at the commonality and the conflicts between the 3 Abrahamic faiths, so between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. This project took me 15 years as opposed to 10 months. At the end of that, I did have these 3 panels, but what I didn't have was a place to show them. Claire had lunch with a good friend of ours, and she said, why don't you just write him a one-man show and you can use the tapestries as a set. That'll be your way to get out there. One of the ironies of doing the show is that 15 years ago, I did it because it sort of came out of my question, why can't we get along? Looking at what had just happened with 9/11. I was kind of concerned, like, well, maybe by the time I finish this, no one's going to care. Like, it just won't be relevant. Well, you fast forward to today, and of course, it's incredibly relevant. Our concern about how we get along is an essential thing that is never going to go away. We're never going to solve it exactly, but we're always going to be dealing with it. I'm confident that taking the show anywhere in the world, it has something to say to people around that question. Knitting is an incredibly great allegory for life. We've toured in Canada, we've gone all the way out to the East Coast. Internationally, we've been to Germany and to Austria. Certainly we found that throughout any culture we touch, the same thoughts are there. How do we knit the world together instead of, tearing it apart? Is there any way for us to come together? And I think there is. I'm not saying that the Knitting Pilgrim is the way to do it, but it's that kind of experience, identifying issues and asking questions and being honest. I think people find that to be incredibly revealing, because most of what we do is we try to come down on one side or the other because we're encouraged to do that, and also because it's just easy. When we take all that away, I think all the possibilities open up and we can see, okay, I can see where you're coming from. How can we get along?